in the area of immigration, there is a decision that is made somewhere. Are we going to focus on the employers or are we going to focus on the immigrants? There was no need to go out there and round up these 300 people. You could have probably pulled a dozen of them out of the workplace, interviewed them, gotten the documentation or lack thereof, and built a case against the employer. There is no way the people running that plant were not fully aware that it was full of illegal immigrants with flawed documentation.
In an ideal situation, I'd like to see every employer in the United States sign up to E-Verify. I'd like to see, frankly, us...
You'll get them to sign up a lot quicker if you take some of them to jail.
I'm with you on that. And
well, it doesn't appear that you are. You just start following the evidence. It's called turning witnesses against the bad guys. And it's how law enforcement operates in this country. It's how we get the big whales instead of the little fishes. And all we're doing in immigration right now is getting the little fishes, and nobody has their scope on the big whales. You know, sometimes, Madam President, change comes quietly. Sometimes it comes with a big bang. Today, change came quietly, and I want to make sure that everyone realizes the change that occurred. For 3 years, I've been talking about the problem of illegal immigration and what has caused this problem to flourish in our country. I have been talking about the problem of the magnet of jobs that has drawn people over the border without documentation because they're trying to feed their families. And the fact that no one was doing anything about employer enforcement. When I got to Washington and I asked the head of immigration enforcement how many employers had been held accountable for knowingly hiring illegal immigrants, how many had been arrested, she couldn't even tell me. They didn't even keep the statistics. Well, I asked the new head of immigration enforcement if that was going to change. I asked the new secretary of Homeland Security if that was going to change, and today they announced a new policy. Now, finally, they have a set of guidelines going to everyone in the country about how we are going to prioritize going after those employers who knowingly hire illegal immigrants. Instead of working off tips, they're now going to embrace basic investigation. They're going to use undercover. They're going to use informants. They're going to use all kinds of documentation that they can look at in terms of paper documentation. They're going to enlist the support and cooperation ahead of workplace enforcement of local law enforcement agencies, including the Justice Department. Now, I support E-Verify, and I support giving employers all the tools we can to do the best job they can in hiring legal workers. But for those who don't care, who are doing it on purpose and knowingly doing it, we need to come down on them and come down on them hard, and this administration has figured it out. I want to congratulate the Secretary of Homeland Security for these new policies. I stand in full support of them, and I know most of my colleagues do also. We finally will do something about illegal immigration when we shut down the magnet.